Hi, my loves. Welcome back to the Starscartel channel. If you don't know, I'm Star. Baby, I was just sitting here minding my own business. Okay. And then, what I'm saying? God spoke to me for somebody. And God said, there is someone that I'm being reminded of this movie that I watched that was called Home Record on Netflix. Okay. It's really good, y'all. Baby, but in this movie, this woman was, just minding her business. She had her job, her husband, family, everything. And there was a woman that was like watching her, stalking her basically. Now, her reasoning is, besides the fact, but, she actually had reasoning. But there are some people that don't have no reason and they will do this. They will stalk. They will literally, it could be like somebody you work with, somebody you go to school with, somebody you stay near, a neighbor or something like that, that will just be watching your life and, wanting what you have. And you know what I'm saying? Typically, people, it's not unusual for people that are around you to notice certain things about you. It is not unusual to see somebody that has a cute person think, oh, I want that. Or, some cute shoes. You're like, oh, those are nice. I want some shoes like that. The store's still selling them. But for somebody to think, I want her house, her car, her man, I want that house specifically and that furniture specifically. I know they still have it in the store, but I want the furniture she got in there. And I want this, like, you know what I'm saying? That's weird. But God said for somebody, it's like somebody wanted to have your whole life become theirs. Like your job was supposed to be their job now. Your man, they man now. Your kids, they kids. Your house, they house. Your this, they. Like everything that belonged to you was now for them. And everything that God has promised for you is supposed to belong to them. God said they may be able to move into your old house. They may be able to wear your old clothes. They could possibly sport some of your old bags and shoes. They could, you know what I'm saying? They can mess around with your man. They can hop on him, flip him, do whatever they want to him. You know what I'm saying? Even if it were to come to an extent of them having children's with your ex, children or children's with your ex. They could even try to work at the same place that you do. They could even get a job there. God said they can't have your destiny. If that man was supposed to be for you, then he wouldn't have did what he did. Like the fact that I just feel like you have to understand the fact that somebody would even like, if somebody is for you, they not gonna leave you for somebody else. It wouldn't like that, the logic in it. You know what I'm saying? You have to think about it. Like if somebody is so evil, God don't want nobody, a man that is so evil that God is telling him, don't do this thing. You telling him, please don't do it. Don't hurt me. Don't break my heart. And they go and do it anyway. That ain't Christ-like. That ain't God-like. That ain't no man of God. A man that will do like that is not a God man, a God-fearing man. A God-fearing man gonna hear God say, this your wife, and he gonna say, bet. He gonna make sure he preserve her at all costs. It will never be a situation where a woman has the audacity to be trying to flirt with him in her face. It will never be a situation where he's trying to be up in somebody else's face instead of around her. It will never be a situation where he's not trying to spend time with her. It will never be a situation like that. But God said, for some of y'all, this person went around screaming and jumping and clowning, talking about they were a man of God, but they ain't do no man of God. These actions are not the actions of a man of God. So, like, in reality, if that man going somewhere, he wasn't for you. And, thinking back to the movie, her husband was not going for that. Like, you know what I'm saying? The other woman was trying to come on him real strong. It had finally got to a position to where him and his wife, they had separated. And the woman she was so excited. They finally separated and she popped up at their house trying to get him into the bedroom. And he was like, you need to leave. But that's what men of God do. Men of God are not promiscuous like that. Men of God they don't move like that. They don't move like they wouldn't move. A man of God would never move like that. Even like God said, even if it was a situation where a man made a mistake, it wouldn't be to such an extent that he say, you know what, I know God sent me this wife and he sent me this house and he sent me these kids and he sent me all these things, but this woman that I just met, she's just so wonderful. I got to give everything to her. What's really going on? You know what I'm saying? God said all she got is leftovers and old stuff. Yesterday's trash. And that's it. She can't have what God have for you. It's even, I know I've heard so many times of people wanting to take people's lives thinking that they going to get some energy off of it. You can't take nobody blessings. And if it was a situation where that person passed away, it was their time. But it don't mean their energy was released to you. God says some of y'all got some people that really think if they do this, if they do that, they're going to be able to have something that God has promised to you. I'm even thinking about how like God has gave me messages saying that children, like somebody like will have a child that's going to be a prophet. Like that's in your bloodline though. And we know this because it's biblical. God said, you know, the Levites are the ones that are going to be the priests. That's a bloodline. It ain't a situation where you just, you know what I'm saying, you wake up one day and say you want to do this, that, and the third. Like, no, God choose specific people for certain tasks. And it don't mean that one person's task is more important than the other. But just because you heard that such and such is going to have a prophet, you go and sleep with such and such man don't mean that all of a sudden you going to be the one to give birth to the prophet now. But you know what I'm saying? But God will do things like that because for somebody, it's that kind of, I'm even thinking about that message. Because God even led me to say, it has to be that bloodline. And I remember God leading me to say that somebody was thinking that it was going to come from the man and it was coming from the woman. That's just like Ruth and Boaz. Ruth was the one with the bloodline, not Boaz. It was intended for her to marry Boaz. It was intended for her to move there. It was intended for her to be in that location to meet the person she was supposed to meet, for them to have the things that they have, for things to unfold the way that it unfolded. But in reality, it was Ruth's bloodline. It wouldn't be a situation where somebody could just see Boaz because he was a great man and think, oh, if I get with him, then it's going to be in my bloodline. No. Because it's Ruth's bloodline. And God said, what he destined to happen to you, for you to have, for you to own, for your blessings, they belong to you. For some of y'all spouses got so excited to hear the blessings God had in store for y'all. And they went around telling people they were messing around with about these blessings. And these people were thinking, oh, if I get rid of them, then they'll be mine. God said, how you going to pay for it? The man wasn't even going to pay for it. He didn't went around making promises to somebody and he don't even have no way to pay for what he's talking about. Okay, I get it. Like, this is somebody that really thought that, like, if you have a business, this man was thinking that he was going to give your business to this woman. God said the whole business would have fell apart. That's like somebody thinking that if they take, like, let's say it's an influencer and they think, oh, if I take such and such life, I can, steal their phone and then I can take over their page and it'll be mine now. You really think the people that love and cherish that person, that are following that person, that care about that person, that rock with that person, is going to respect the fact that you took their life and took over their platform? I don't understand what people be thinking. And if you want one, you can make one. It's free. The scripture comes from Psalm 132:6. Lo, we heard of it at Euphrates. We found it in the fields of the wood. We will go into his tabernacles. We will worship at his footstool. Arise, O Lord, into thy rest, thou, and the ark of thy strength. Let thy priests be clothed with righteousness, and let thy saints shout for joy. For thy servant David's sake, turn not away the face of thine anointed. And baby, this here, a poem of David. Ironically, Ruth was one of David's descendants. Yes, she was. Like Mary was too. And I just feel like, and Jesus, I just feel like God is saying that it shouldn't be a situation where somebody, is trying to do this here. And you for whoever this is for, your descendant, it's your bloodline that is specific to him. For somebody, it's specific. It's your bloodline. For some of you, your bloodline go back to David, and you don't even know it. You don't even know it. You don't even realize why it's people after you trying to take your life. You don't realize why it's people after trying to take your children's lives. They are trying to attack you because your bloodline. And it's wild because the things that are attached to you, the promises, the blessings, they are for you specifically. And you may have experienced women throwing themselves at men that you would be interested in or dating or married to. And it's because they thought that if they got those men, then they would be able to have access to whatever blessings you have. It's almost like for some of them, they would think to themselves, well, I don't just got to be her. I just got to be attached to him so I can get some of what she got. And it could be a situation where, if you married to somebody that keep going out in these streets giving prostitutes money, that could be a way of them feeling like they stealing your blessings. But God said for whoever this is for, when you obedient to God and you don't give men money, not no grown, well-bodied man, able man. Because when I received a message about that a few months ago, and baby, once I received that message, See, that's the type of stuff when you see somebody, you know what I'm saying, and they snatching somebody up and they drag, you know what I'm saying, snatching somebody, that's a reason right there. A man to do something like this, take money out of his household, out of his wife's hand, and go and put it in another woman's hand to lay down with her and betray his wife is disgusting. It is, Lord. And you know what I'm saying, the idea of it is disgusting. The idea of the woman thinking that she gonna be able to take something is disgusting. The idea that she don't want to work for it is disgusting. And lazy. Just pathetic and trifling. This is somebody that instead of finding them something to do so that they can attain the goals that they have in mind, they want to do your man and try to steal what you got. God said they may be able to steal yesterday's trash, including him. But they can't have your blessings, the blessings you have in store. They cannot have the promises you have in store. Even if it was a situation where it was destined for you to have a child with that man and you have that child and they backdoor and try to have a child by that man, for some of y'all, God is going to block you. And for some of y'all, even if they do have that child not going to be your child. It's going to hit different. Regardless to what that means, it is going to hit different. Your child is going to stand out. It's almost like your child will, and it's not to be you know what I'm saying, but it is that's the truth. That's the truth. And sometimes that's what happens when someone is in a relationship or married and they have a child. It's a blessing. It's seen as a beautiful thing. Everybody's happy and celebrating. Everybody want to babysit. Everybody wants to see the baby. But when somebody is cheating on somebody and just doing foul mannerisms, and it's a foul woman, who gonna like that mess? Don't nobody want to be around, like I'm just being real. But I just feel like God is saying this is somebody that really thought it could even be a situation where this person feel like your friends gonna become their friends. God said them people gonna reject this person. Somebody is gonna be rejected in every aspect that they thought they were gonna take over your life. They are going to be rejected. And it's going to be rejected sorely. It's going to be in such a way. This is somebody that's going to be embarrassed. But they deserve it, because why in the world they sitting around looking at you and fantasizing about your life to such an extent that they actively decide to take it or try? They tried. They tried. And for some of you, they realize it's not as much as they thought. It ain't even all that. Now they interested in what your new life is like. They want that, but they don't have access to it. They bored now. You know what I'm saying? And it's funny because, when you in a relationship, when you get married, it's kind of like you in happily ever after state. So it's a limbo. You're not racing no more. You're not going out and dating no more. You're not doing that no more. But you in a kind of relaxed state. And this is somebody that's looking at you because you single now. You out partying, you going out to eat, you doing this, you doing that, you know, traveling. God says somebody, they feel like you are out on an adventure and they are so jealous and angry. They don't know what to do with themselves because this is not how they expected it to be. They wanted it to be where you were no longer existing and they were the new you. But instead of them becoming the new you, they are still them, but they are the trashy version of them that stole your man and is trying to have your old things. You know what I'm saying? That wants your old trash and your old man. That's the version that they are. They're not you. You are the new enlightened version of yourself that realized your man was deceiving you, realized that you were being lied to and played, that decided that you would be rid of all that junk that they were looking at and lusting over. You just left it like it was trash and walked off into a whole adventure, and they are so envious and jealous. They don't know what to do with themselves. They so mad. And you know what I'm saying? I told y'all, it ain't about him. It's about you. This is somebody that's jealous of you. They don't care about that man. They so mad at him, they don't know what to do with themselves because they feel like he did something wrong. For some of y'all, he was supposed to take your life. And they mad that he didn't. And now they feel like they have been betrayed because they were supposed to become the new you. God said they will never be the new you. If you pass away, you is gone. Ain't no new you. Unless you have a child. That's the only way it's going to be another you. Period. And even then, they not another you. They just a version of you. Like a twist, if you will. This is somebody that is delusional and crazy and needs to be locked up somewhere. Like, people like be doing just the most weird things, y'all. And I don't have time for it. I do not have time for people that do strange things. You know what I'm saying? I don't have time for people that, go out their way to try to hurt and cause, and this is what it seemed like. This is somebody that is just like, they bored. And they wanted to make trouble in your life. They did. You peeped it. You removed yourself, and now they bored again. This is a bully. A little nasty little bully. A little mean girl. That sat around looking at your little life and felt like it was too perfect and they got to do something about that. God said that's okay. He finna do something about them. And for some of them, they're going to be exposed as the thought they are. It's not going to be a situation where they're going to be able to pretend to be innocent no more. Everybody going to see them for what they are, a homebreaker, a HOE. Thank you guys for watching. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Deuces.